What's going on, guys? Logan back with another watch review. So today I'm very excited to get to show you guys my Brew watch. This one is the Brew Super Metric in electric blue. Now the Brew Metric and the Super Metric come in many different color variants. The main difference between the Super Metric and the Metric is that the Super Metric has square subdials rather than circle ones. The Super Metrics are also a little more flashy when it comes to the color schemes, just brighter colors that really accent each other and really pop more. While the Super Metrics are a little more flashy, the star of the lineup is actually the Brew Metric Retro Dial. Idris Elba, known for his role in Suicide Squad, Zootopia, and The Office, has been seen wearing the Brew Metric Retro Dial. And if you haven't already, I recommend Teddy Baltazar's video on the Retro. He goes into detail just like kind of how we're about to do with this one. Now let's stop wasting our time. Let's get up and close with this watch so you guys can check it out. Okay, now before I get into this unboxing, if you guys have any sort of suggestions for watches you'd like to see, this is the Guy that I'll be going over on my next video. Extremely affordable watch brand, and as you can see, you get quite the watch here for what you're paying. But I'm gonna go over this one, and I'll have a few more like it. But again, if you guys have any sort of suggestions of stuff that you want to see, my budget's around 500 to maybe a couple thousand. Leave it in the comments and I can look into getting one, doing a little review so that you guys can see more in depth about it before you decide to make the purchase. But that's one I'll be going over in one of my later videos, probably my next one. But here it is, the Brew watch review. So as you open it up, you get a little bit of paraphernalia as you would with most other watches. I really do like Brew's packaging and what they add with their watches. You get some amazing shots of the other options that they have on hand. So opening it up further, you got your watch box here, and inside we have some more paraphernalia. Looking at the Metric in particular, but you can browse through that at your convenience. So very cool. I think you have a separate case inside the box, leather case to hold it all together, and then you have your watch sizing tool right there, and then inside that you have your little cloth for wiping it down. I already resized mine. I've already taken it out, resized it, worn it for a couple weeks, which has given me a lot of information to go over in this video. So inside the Brew case, I want to get a good shot here. And so this is the Brew Super Metric in electric blue. Now, cool thing about this case, you can completely take this watch holder out, just unbuttons. Very nice, I think. Now, this is I believe a 38 millimeter. I could be wrong, could be 36 actually, but I'd say it wears pretty true to size, maybe a tiny bit larger just because it is a square case. Now this is the movement inside is a hybrid chronograph. So it's got a mechanical movement inside as well as a quartz movement. I believe the quartz powers just a regular time, and then the mechanical movement powers the stopwatch feature. So as you can see, you press that, stopwatch starts. For every minute it goes around, that square subdial on the left will move 1 minute, and then you can stop, restart. But yeah, I think it's very cool. Love the polished outer rim, and then you have the brush metal everywhere else. I believe it's either 10.5 or 11 millimeters thick. I want to say 40 lug to lug, could be 41. It also has 4 micro adjustments here, and then this one, and I believe the others will come with the quick release bracelet, as you can see. Now, never had a quick release bracelet, but I can say I'm not very impressed. I wore this watch to play basketball with some friends, and the quick release bracelet came apart right there and fell off my wrist twice while playing. So I ended up just taking it off and deciding, well, maybe it's just not a sports watch. But then a day or two later, I was wearing it and I was just taking off my jacket and it fell off while I was doing that. So something very simple. You wouldn't think that, you know, $475 watch bracelet would come apart while you're doing something as simple as that. But yeah, I might be getting a new bracelet for it, maybe even a rubber strap, just because the colors might go with the dial pretty well. But all in all, it's got 50 meters water resistance, it's got the hybrid chronograph, it's got nice clasp. I do like the Brew logo right there on the clasp. You got your micro adjustments, and then yeah, the quick release might fall off every once in a while, but it is very easy to take on and off, and put a new strap on if you need to. But yeah, I've been wearing it for a couple weeks, and I love the versatility of having that stopwatch. I've actually used that a few times. Love the color scheme that this has, and those square dials with the square case and the circle everything else. It's very good. Now, lume on this is actually pretty good. I'll get a lume shot here probably right now, and you can see that, but it's all green lume. I really wish it had blue lume. The watch I'll be going over on my next video has blue lume, and that's one of the crazy selling points that got me on that. But yeah, there it is. The Brew Supermetric and Electric Blue. Okay, so before we get into the scoring of the watch, if you liked the video so far and you made it this far, please leave a like. If you have any suggestions about any watches you'd like to see, any improvements I can make with my videos, please leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. But getting into the scoring of the watch, so we'll start out with quality. Now, we mentioned the quick release bracelet, falling off 3 separate times. With that being the main thing in mind, it's going to push the score lower. So for quality, I would give it probably a 7. Not the lowest quality watch, but at the same time, it does have those small little things that are going to bring that score down, especially that quick release bracelet. I just can't believe it fell off 3 separate times while wearing it. But other than that, I would say the quality of this watch is pretty good. Moving on to practicality. So while this doesn't have a day-date function, doesn't have huge water resistance, it's a quartz watch. So, practicality-wise, you can set this down for a couple days or a week or a month, and it's still gonna be ticking away. It's not, a mechanical watch where you only got a 40-hour or 50-hour power reserve. Quartz movement's going to keep going as long as the battery's good. So that's pretty practical in that sense. I also think that the stopwatch feature on it is pretty practical, as well as the 4 different micro adjustments that you have in it. So practicality, I'd probably give this an 8, because you do have quite a few going for it. And then lastly, we're getting into uniqueness. So I think this is probably one of the most unique watches I have when it comes to the bold colors and the bold shapes of it. And then the fact that the entire company, Brew Watches, is centered around coffee making. I have not seen any other brand that is centered on something so different from what watches are usually about. So the fact that you're centered around coffee, you have these 1970s different types of shapes and all these eclectic colors along with them. It's a very unique type of watch. And then, you know, mentioning the little things, the square subdials inside the face of it. So I would give uniqueness probably a 9. And yeah. So with the scores coming out to 7, 8, and 9, the Brew Supermetric receives an overall score of 8.0 out of 10. This lands at 1.5 points above my last video of my Hamilton Jazzmaster, being a little more unique and a little more practical. To end this video, if you are still watching, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for future watch videos and much, much more. Until then, I am out.